So I've got a couple of questions here for you guys. Just tell me how you feel about this. I'm really curious to get your opinion as artists and as human beings on how these type of things work in your mind. So both your characters were a bit of a cause of concern, worry, suspense for the audience, but in very different ways. We see Juan try to repent in a way. That's almost his relationship with Little, whereas Teresa doesn't really seem to have a clear motive for why she's helping him and assisting him as a person. Later on, at some point in the film, we wonder if Juan is going to hurt Little in some way, whereas when he grows up, we start to think or potentially be concerned about whether he's going to try to hurt in some way Teresa. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at here is, can you speak to the use of stereotypes in this film and how they may have been used to direct the flow of suspense?
Oh boy. Okay, well, real quick, I don't think Juan was ever trying to repent.
Yeah.
Because I really don't, in terms of connecting to Little. What Barry and I talked about, Juan has such an empathy for Little in part because he's a very dark-skinned Cuban living in Miami. And he tried to assimilate with black culture, but he's not African American and had trouble totally fitting in with Cuban culture in Miami. So he's someone who recognizes that this kid is like him, someone who doesn't quite fit in. And so he tries to he connects to him just purely through recognizing that this kid is struggling, and I have empathy for him. And they quickly have love for each other, and it's just an opportunity to be a friend. Like, that comes real naturally for people. Like, where I'm from, I know that there's people who just see someone that needs help and is down to help them, down to be the mentor, up to direct them. So that's, Juan wasn't, I feel so guilty about doing what I do that let me go help this little kid. Like, it's not that at all. For me, it was a lot.
Yeah, I think Teresa was there to listen, and she was a mentor as well. You know, once she saw her husband bring him home, I think she immediately took to him. You know, they didn't have children. And also, she is a young girl that, when I was going into her character, I felt like we had similarities. I grew up in an environment where I saw a lot of drug dealers. I saw drug users. I have family members who reminded me of Little and Chiron, and so I wanted to make sure that I was being that nurturer that they were, or that nurturer that I saw my aunties being to them, or my older cousins being to them, and sometimes that I would be to my younger cousins. So it was all about listening to him, not judging him, making sure that, you know, even if Juan was not there, I was still a positive influence in his life.